let me tell you the story of a guy that the Montreal Canadiens are probably going to let go in free agency. Because today, he's more relevant than ever. Today we're talking about Patrik Laine, a guy that made headlines when he was acquired by the Montreal Canadiens in the summer of 2024. He was acquired in a trade with the Columbus Blue Jackets. Patrik Laine had 4 years in Columbus. He then played a few years with Montreal, but one of the biggest stories out of Patrik Laine during his time with the Habs from a year ago was the story of him critiquing that Columbus Blue Jackets team. We made some videos about what was said, and we made some videos about the response. This one in particular stands out to me. The Blue Jackets are pissed at Patrik Laine. Zach Werenski calls out Montreal Canadiens forward. This happened a year ago, where Zach Werenski called out Patrik Laine by name, and he said, yeah, that Laine guy, absolutely ridiculous. It's BS what Laine was saying about our team. Well, it's been a year since that went down, and now we got people like James on Twitter. James is a Columbus Blue Jackets fan, according to their profile picture, and they said this: I'm sorry, Patrik Laine. You were 100% right about Zach Werenski all along. Yeah, that's today's video topic. Zach Werenski trade update. Patrik Laine was right. What exactly was he right about? Well, Ryan goes out there and replies, what did he say about Werenski? I forgot everything that happened with that situation. He said that some players on the Blue Jackets could not give a crap about the team losing. And Werenski said it was BS. I can't believe I believed this loser. Werenski hates losing so much that he asked for a trade. Daniel then replies saying asking for a trade is one thing, not waiving your no move to go to one of the best teams in the league is a crap move. That's the best offer we're going to get, and he damn well knows it. Now, I will say, that last sentence there, pretty contestable. Why the heck would a player give a crap on what the return is if he doesn't want to live in the city offering the package? He stated he wants to stay on the East Coast, so why would he want to move to Texas just because they're offering Columbus better players? LOL. And this in itself is a fair argument. It's like, yeah, well, Zach Werenski, he's not going to go out there and choose his trade destination based off of what the Blue Jackets are getting in return. But as we had already spoken about in yesterday's show, Zach Werenski rejected a trade to Dallas. That was reported by Elliot Friedman, Darren Dreger, Pierre LeBrun, David Pagnotta. They were all going out there and saying, yeah, Werenski was going to get traded to the Stars. He would have been an amazing defenseman alongside of Miro Heiskanen, but he said no. And now Blue Jackets fans have all the right in the world to be pissed off at this guy because the teams that he does want to get traded to, Toronto, Tampa Bay, they don't have a defenseman to offer Columbus back like Thomas Harley from the Stars. So from that perspective, I can see why Blue Jackets fans are rightfully pissed off at the fact that Werenski does not want to go to Dallas. But the fact that he does not want to go to Dallas is the first part of what makes this entire Werenski saga so infuriating. Take a look at this. Elliot Friedman posted his thoughts and predictions on the NHL offseason earlier this morning, literally at 1:28 a.m. And one of the pieces of info that he put in this article says, the most important thing with the Werenski situation is that cooler heads prevail. One rumor making the rounds Tuesday night is that Werenski's camp is so upset at recent developments that all trade possibilities will be rejected. I absolutely believe that's part of what happened with Dallas. But that might be short-term hot-headedness as opposed to realistic long-term outcome. We'll see. This was tweeted about by NHL Rumor Report, the same thing. Werenski's camp is so upset at the recent developments that all trade possibilities will be rejected. One of the top replies says, oh, he's so pissed at the organization that he's gonna stay? Like, what is happening here? The guy wants to leave, okay, but now he's pissed off that everybody knows that he wants to leave, that he's not gonna leave? One of these replies goes out there and says, Werenski is upset because he went from hero to villain in no time flat. These players wanted to be selfish, but they didn't want any of the consequences. It's one thing to not re-sign with your team. It's a whole different level when you handcuff your team into a terrible return. At least DeBrincat was going home when he did it to Ottawa. At least there was a semi-non-selfish reason, and even in that situation, Ottawa rightfully gave him the hostile greeting. But Zach Werenski, Dylan Larkin, and Brady Tkachuk decided to take it to a whole different level. At this point, I'd be afraid to trade for these players. How does a team know you won't get upset in a year or two and handcuff them in the same fashion? You can't have your cake and eat it too. The guy makes it clear that he is not going to come back. His contract goes on till 2028, so there are 2 more years left, yes. $9.5 million a year, pretty valuable defenseman. He's a Norris winner. He's an 81-point guy in 75 games. But if the idea is he wants to be on a winning team, then why the hell are you saying no to the Dallas gosh darn Stars, bruh? Like, Dallas is one of the best teams in the league. Is it really that serious? Like, oh, you can't play in Texas for 2 seasons? But what? What's the repercussion there? You're on one of the best teams in the league. That's what you want, right? You want to be a winner? You want to be a part of an organization that actually has a realistic chance of winning the Stanley Cup? That's why you want out of Columbus, right? What's the point of going over to Toronto if you're going to go to a team that's just drafting first overall and definitely doesn't have the same short-term aspirations that the Dallas Stars do? It's contradictory from the perspective of this guy wants to go out there and win, so he rejects a trade to one of the winningest teams in the league. Werenski's camp started all of this by making it public he wanted a trade, and now they're upset? That doesn't make any sense. Now, another reply says he never made it public that he wanted a trade. The most recent news is that he wanted to finish his contract in Columbus. And that is also kind of weird. Oh yeah, I'm in Columbus, and I'll finish my contract with Columbus, but I don't want to get traded. I just want to go to free agency. I want to be all over. I want to screw over the Blue Jackets franchise because I don't want them to trade me away. I just want them to have me, and I'm going to play, and then I'm going to leave, and that's it. They don't get nothing. I'm out of here. No trades. The thing is, there is nothing that Zach Werenski can do about the long-term implications of that, because, yeah, he has a no-move this year. He's got a modified no-trade next year. 10-team trade list, meaning that there are 10 teams that he is able to get traded to next year, no matter what happens. So even if Zach Werenski exercises all of the trade protection he has right now, as it's implied that he would, because Elliot Friedman's saying, yeah, they're so upset, they're just going to reject all the trade possibilities. Like, bruh, that's so weird, dude. You're being so weird right now, Zach Werenski. You're pissed off that all this leaked, so you're going to go out there and say, oh, yeah, no, I'm not going to get traded. I'm going to stay right here. I'm going to stay in the organization that I already said I'm not going to stick around with because I'm mad that they tried to trade me to Dallas. This is so funny, dude. This is so funny. And I want you to let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Does this actually make sense, in your opinion? The Zach Werenski getting all ticked off element of it all, thinking about how he wants to win, how he wants to be a part of a franchise that has a chance to contend, but no, he rejected that opportunity. Now Blue Jackets fans are ticked off about it. Now they're going out there and saying that Patrik Laine was right all along. Goodness gracious, man. He said that some players in the Blue Jackets couldn't give a darn about the team losing, and Werenski said it was BS. And I can't believe that I believed this loser. You can let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. How do you feel about the Werenski discourse? The idea that Patrik Laine was right this entire time. Do you agree? Do you disagree? Thoughts in the comment section below. I hope you enjoyed this video. And bye.